Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Gemini, January 10, 2023. The Sun and retrograde Mercury meet in your sector of social connections, dreams, and hopes today, prompting some rethinks. Important thinking, news, or conversations give you new insight into recent events, decisions, or problems, and these are illuminating today. They're likely to relate to friends, projects, and relationships with this transit occurring in your social sector. You can be especially sensitive to what's going on around you and to what's communicated right now. Still, you're gathering valuable information, and it's a great time for processing, reviewing, and rediscovering old interests or plans. While this insight is still in its new and raw stages, it puts you on the road to brand new beginnings. Memories or surprise meetings can change your perspective. Today is the ideal day for romantic hours with your partner. You should finally catch up on the undertakings that you have had on your shared to-do list for a long time. Maybe you even surprise your partner after work with a candlelight dinner and romantic music. However, it will be beneficial for your relationship and you will reap the benefit of this for some time. There might be some technical issues and problems that might come up with work friends. Expect the unexpected when the Sun in Capricorn conjuncts Mercury retrograde in Capricorn. As the conjunction unfolds, you should triple-check your professional platforms to ensure that everything is running as it should. Aside from this, you should try to be as clear and direct as possible when coordinating with your work friends to avoid any potential miscommunication. The Moon not only returns for its first visit to your work sector for the year, but since Jupiter's return to your income sector, something that will almost immediately put them into a friendly aspect. With the dwarf planet Eris in her last weekend in retrograde motion in your income sector, this is just the start of what will be an empowering few days on the income and job fronts. Today's planetary movement gives you more conviction than you know how to deal with. Get used to bold feelings and confusion. People might tell you that you're self-centered when you're feeling kind. You might not know exactly how to love yourself. Give yourself some space by letting the little things count. Wash your toes when you take a shower. Get a haircut, if possible. Don't bite your nails. Exercise when you feel stressed or anxious. Focus on yourself in a positive way. Today you may be feeling more introspective than usual. Don't worry, days like this tend to cause one to be more serious and contemplative. Stick close to home today if you can, and be sure to spend some time later nurturing yourself. Chances are you may have devoted a lot of time recently caring more for your home and family than for yourself. Turn this around by taking the time to recharge your spirit through activities that help you connect with yourself. The first full weekend of 2023 has the stars from across the solar system scrambling for your attention. In her first weekend in a nostalgic and reflective part of your chart, Venus wants nothing more than a chance to relax, and especially after what can be a hectic holiday period. At the same time, an alignment between the Sun and Mercury is putting the focus on your social life and friendships. Yet at the same time, the Moon not only returns for its first visit to your work sector for the year, but to kick off a defining few days across the income, work, and career fronts. The final hours of the Moon's monthly visit to your romantic sector always need to be embraced, and especially as this was both the Moon's first visit for the year and the first full moon of 2023. With these romantically charged lunar vibes a lot more potent and with no planetary activity on the romantic front, this is something that needs to be seized. Our eyes in the sky. Mercury retrograde in Capricorn and Uranus retrograde in Taurus unite today. Contrary to popular belief, this planetary connection can bring clarity to matters and allow us to see situations from a different perspective. The world seems larger, clearer, and lovelier when we look at it from a million miles away with no judgment. If you have news to share, now is the time to express yourself. You will be heard and seen by those you love. You may feel unusually cross or ill-tempered during this time. Emotions loom large and seem practically unmanageable. Your body seems to have a mind of its own, cravings may feel too strong to push aside. This is perfectly natural. One useful herbal remedy for this feeling is chamomile tea. Chamomile is known as the baby remedy, for it soothes a cranky baby and restores balance after a fever. You may drink the tea or actually put tea bags in your bath. While a friendly aspect between Venus in your career sector and Mars in your income sector won't peak until tomorrow, they are already in harmony and at an important time for both. Venus is forging a path for the Sun to follow when he returns in 10 days, and that includes connecting all the dots across the income, work, and career fronts. With Mars slowing ahead of his direct turn in 4 days, as the planet of money, Venus is the perfect planet to exploit both untapped income potential and to prepare for the turnaround ahead. While the Moon is still 2 days away from its first visit to your romantic sector for the year, as it will then go on to make its first visit to your relationship sector for the year just a few days later, there are some important days coming up on both fronts. This makes today's clash between the Moon and Venus today and any work and life balance issues this might expose the right reminder at the right time. After sunup, the Leo Moon opposes Venus in Aquarius, stimulating insecurity. We feel distant from others, even if we are in a room full of people. Failing to achieve the validation we desire can cause us to showboat for attention. Naturally, this only further damages our self-confidence. The real issue now is not that others do not value us, it's that we do not value ourselves. Take the energy you would put into people-pleasing and invest it instead in the creative pursuits that bring you joy. If we make our own happiness, people will flock to us in order to be a part of it. Before noon, the Moon sextiles retrograde Mars in Gemini, helping us to cooperate with others. If we've chosen a creative pursuit to busy ourselves with during the Moon-Venus opposition, this influence will help us to sink into our passion project and achieve success in this venture. However, this aspect is not just about achieving accolades. It is about the internal gratification we attain for doing something that has merit to us. It is about being brave enough to see our efforts through despite the odds. The Moon's first visit to a fun, playful, romantic and creatively charged part of your chart for the year is both some light relief after the heaviness that the full moon of the last few days brought and a chance to put its work-life balance reminders into practice. This was a full moon that will always fall at some point during the Sun's month-long visit to your career sector, and it came when this new professional year was already getting off to a good start. Following on from that, today's playful lunar vibes are another reminder that life can't be all work and no play. The Moon's first visit to your romantic sector for the year has already got off to a good start thanks to its friendly aspect to Jupiter in Aries yesterday. The Moon will also form the same aspect to the asteroid Eris, just as the warrior princess of the cosmos has come to a standstill in her final days in retrograde motion. This is highlighting the new and old doors that are open.